Hi, and welcome to our stress curriculum program for high school students, the pitfalls of stress on Generation Zers, the stress management curriculum. My name is Sarah Hamilton.
And my name is Amber Guerra.
The stress management curriculum is going to consist of the reasons for this curriculum. We will identify the problems or needs through the research and studies that we researched. We will talk about our goals and our objectives.
Again, our target audience is high school age students, currently referred to as Generation Zers. It is reported that academic and social pressures, especially with high social media influence, are at an all-time high in 2018. This has become a public health issue due to the fact that we can now measure high rates of anxiety disorders, depression, violence, and even suicide in those currently aged 9 to 18. Because of this, we are now seeing a gap between illness and care, which is why a new stress-related curriculum is much needed. In past curriculums, like the Can We Talk and Learning to Breathe initiatives, we see a focus on anti-stigma adherence and language, as well as stigma breaking and emotional coping. The Cope to Thrive curriculum is significant in the fact that it deals directly with the after effects of dealing with severe anxiety and depression. Our stress management curriculum builds off of these great foundations to focus on building knowledge on personal identifiers and coping mechanisms in a preventative manner. We see our stress management curriculum as a means of refocusing the care upstream. We can make sense of these through both an inter- and intrapersonal health behavior theory. Using the theory of reasoned action, we want to address a change in attitude, subjective norms, and normative beliefs regarding stress management. For this target audience, we have students directly compare positive and negative stress reactions as a means of combating attitude. Students will also evaluate normative perceptions of stress through discussion. We want students to get a grip on what is accepted and not when it comes to stress reactions, which will then push for a change in the subjective norm. The normative belief construct is measured through a call to action on the student's personal life stressors and their effects on the mind and body. The orange chart highlights how each objective addresses a construct in the TRA. The use of social cognitive theory in our curriculum is a direct reflection of the flow and understanding of information acquisition for our target audience. Stress is a direct reflection of the person, environment, and eventually erupts from behavior or lack thereof. There is a reciprocal deterministic nature to stress. We want students to see value in proper stress management through improved outcome expectations. This will eventually build self-efficacy and is acquired through observational learning of relaxation techniques that will be showcased in our lesson plan. Finally, we do assume, unless medically noted by a student, that all students have the behavioral capability to perform and engage in this curriculum. Let's take a look at how everything comes into play with our lesson plans.
And in our lesson plan, we will use our curriculum. We will have a set plan. We will have key learning, essential questions, objectives, and instructional tools. And before we begin that, we would like to let you know that in order for us to have gather our participants, we will use school administrators and parents as our key connection between our target audience. We can use this program for during school hours or as an after-school program set up for 3 consecutive weekends. I wanted to state our goal, which is understanding how the body and mind deals with stress. And our key essential question in this first lesson would be, what is stress? Our key learning is to provide a questionnaire to assess the stress level and for the teacher to explain the scoring system so that we can identify and relate the numbers with the stress. We will also provide a lecture from Arthur McNerney that's called Stress, and Hans Seeley, The Stress of Life. We will also provide a video that deals with the fight or flight theory. We will provide pictures for the stretching exercises. Our objectives will deal with, and the lessons will be learned from the participants, is how to define stress, 3 causes of stress, and then a small demonstration on how to use the stretching techniques or how to do the stretching techniques. In the second session, our essential question is, how does stress affect the body? We will have students pair into groups of 2 or 3 and then discuss the biological reactions when they are under stressful situations. We will lecture about stress physiologically, and we will also have a video that also deals with the anatomy and the physiological effects of stress on the nervous and the adrenal cortex system. We will have an objective. Our first objective would be to identify 3 biological changes in the body due to stress, 2 ways stress and illness affects the body, and we will be able to compare and contrast, as well as we will participate in demonstrating a deep breathing technique. And in the third session, our essential question would be, what is intrapersonal stress intervention? We will discuss their methods of handling stress. We will introduce the term intrapersonal as far as it deals with stress and the relationship between stress and nutrition. We will also have a relaxation technique called progressive relaxation technique. And we will have the objective as objective number 1, identifying 3 of your own stressors. We will identify 3 sources for stress management, and we will demonstrate the progressive relaxation technique learned in the session. Next. As I stated earlier, we are providing 2 links for the materials and activities for fight and flight and the anatomy and physiological. We will also provide written practice, deep breathing, stretching exercises, and progressive relaxation techniques. We'll provide resource pamphlets. We'll inform students and parents that their clergy, community leaders, counselors, psychologists, and teachers are also available resources to them. And of course, the literature, which was mentioned earlier, The Stress of Life and Stress, with illustrated pictures of all exercises and breathing techniques as such. Our evaluation is produced at the beginning of our session and will be broken down throughout the 3 sessions and tallied at the end to find our qualitative values in our program. And we would like to thank you for your time.
Thank you.